What's going on, people? I'm back again with another podcast. I hope everyone's fitting well and hope everyone's had a great Christmas. If you're new to my channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and get involved to discussions that we're going to speak about. We're going to talk about the Man City game. We are going to talk about tomorrow's match against Everton. Please get involved. And a massive shout out to my sponsor, to Alan Holland Far and Wide. They kindly sponsor my channel till the end of the season. So if you want to know more about them, the link is in the description. They are a Nottinghamshire-based company, and they are promoting my channel as well. Right, let's get the panel in. Let's talk about. Who should talk? We'll talk to Paul Smith, aka Glenn Hancock. How you doing, Glenn? I think he's muted. Is he muted?
Oh.
That's a great start, isn't it? Glenn, talk, Glenn. Talk. Can you talk? Hello. Glenn, talk. Can't you talk? You can't talk. Glenn, just wave. Wave, Glenn. Wave.
He's engrossed in the Leicester Derby game.
This is a great start of the Christmas. You can't hear me. We can hear you.
We can hear you, Glenn.
We can hear you, Glenn. You know what? I thought it was. You might got your Wi-Fi, Steve. Oh, Dave. Before we do, we'll see how you. How's your Christmas been?
Yeah, right, Ben. Not too bad. Not too bad. Like I said, not back in work until next week, so it's been nice and chilled. And
look at you.
Yeah, nice little break. So, but otherwise, plenty to talk about football-wise. Get our teeth into.
Yeah. Glenn.
God, I don't know what did you do when we went. We were talking for about 5 minutes before it all started. Sorry, viewers. It's all good now. I can hear you fine.
Ben, that's the end of the show now, isn't it? We've done it all.
We're done.
Great hour, boys. See you at the boot room tomorrow, Dore.
How are you, Glenn? Are you okay? How's Christmas?
Yeah, very well. Lovely Christmas, thank you. Hope everybody else had a good one. Yeah, wasn't in Nottingham, I think, for the first time, I guess, in about 15 years over Christmas, but looking forward to coming up tomorrow. And it was a lovely Christmas in London. Had a really good few days after the Fulham game, which wasn't so great. But lovely Christmas with family. And looking forward to coming up, as I said, tomorrow for a couple of days.
So hopefully make sure everyone's at the stick round tomorrow as well. Massive game tomorrow against Everton. And again, I forgot to do a massive shout out to Justin from Australia. I met him and his family before the Man City game, and he's kindly got me a top. And it's not a Tottenham top, like Glenn said. It's not a Tottenham top. It's an Australian top that he kindly brought me. So thank you very much, Justin, and your family for kindly giving me this top. And like I did say, I wear on the podcast. I am. So shout out to Justin as well. Right, people, get involved with the topic. Like I said, there's lots to talk about. As well, people hit the like button and subscribe. Let's talk about the Man City game. And it was a bit, I don't know, after we watching it, I think Man City just edged it a little bit. But listen, we're gonna get Glenn and Steve's opinion on it. We'll start with you, Glenn. Did Man City just edge it a little bit, or were we just unlucky?
If you look at it very pragmatically like that, you look at it in terms of opportunities created, and they had 4 more than us in terms of really clear-cut opportunities. You could argue, though, on those opportunities, that we kept them, a team that was for 180 minutes or whatever it was until Arsenal's game finished, the leaders of the best league in the world, right? So to say that we kept them down to a fewer numbers of opportunities than we would normally, a fewer opportunities that they would normally get from a team in our position, in any team in the Premier League, after the run of form they've had, was 8 wins in a row and 150 goals for Holland, who was looking for that 150th, wasn't he? And he was so keen to get it. And we managed to keep him very quiet. Murillo had a cracker. So over the space of the 98 minutes or whatever it was, we were unlucky not to get more out of the game, but over the space of those clear-cut opportunities. And we'll talk no doubt about the frailties that we had in that game and that we've had over the last 17 previous games that mean that we are where we are. But over the space, I agree, Dore, over the space of those 90 minutes, we were lucky not to get more. But over the space of it, I think City were the better of the two teams, albeit there were other factors that we can definitely speak about tonight in terms of refereeing performance and opportunities that they got free, for example. Yeah.
Before I get Steve, again, this is Justin as well. Look the top, Mr. Dore, looking good. Again, he's the one that got me the top. So shout out to Justin as well. And Eve as well. Good evening, Mr. Dore, Glenn, Steve. Hope you're well. I hope you had a good Christmas. We did, Eve, and hopefully I'll see you soon. And I hope yourself has had a great Christmas as well. Steve, what was your thoughts on the whole game? Did we, like I said, I thought Maxi edged it. Did you think differently or not?
You know what? I'm going to say, yeah. I think we need to give Forest more credit because I honestly thought we rattled them. They back four rattled. And the way they celebrated at the end, with Donnarumma running the full length of the pitch, you had Pep hugging all his backroom staff like they just won the league. They knew they were in a battle there. They knew they were in a game. So I think, on the balance of it, though, I think if a draw was the result, I think it would have been a fair result. I honestly think we gave them a game. We got stuck in. Haaland did have a kick, which was my worry, which I did put on the group because Haaland just needs one chance.
Yeah. And
that half a chance he had just on the edge of the box, and he blazed over, over the bar, which was the only chance really. I thought the midfielder, Nico, is it the one who's replaced Rodri? He was rattled. Foden played well. He was probably one of their better players. But the back four, they were playing rugby more than they were playing football. They were honestly, Ben. I was impressed. I thought. I know a few Forest fans have said that we need to start now. We'll get out to Everton tomorrow, but them kind of games which shows we up our game and the intensity's got to be there. If we played the guy against Fulham, they would have lived with us. But for some reason, we don't seem to pick it up against these lesser teams, which you need to going into these running games coming up now. We got West Ham coming up, Villa aside. Villa's going to be tough on Saturday, but West Ham's coming up. Wolves are coming back up soon. But Ben, honestly, I was impressed. I thought the intensity was there. I thought Milenkovic was pumped up. I thought the big serve was really tight. We'll come to man of match later on, but I've dropped a little seed there, which my man of match was. I thought Big John in goals was all right. I know some people said he should have saved the second goal, but he was unsighted a bit. I'm sure we'll get to that later about the lead up to that goal. But yeah, Ben, I thought we played really well. I thought, and even the commentator was saying it. Both teams went at it. It was a good Premier League football match. The referee spoilt it. It looked corrupt. It was corrupt. We'll get to him in a minute because he just loves the airtime.
That's the next discussion about referee.
And I hate to say it, but this ref loves the airtime. And I just say one thing. You go back and watch the highlights. Look at the way he just walks out in the pitch with how smug he is with that ball as well. He's just, I am the man. I was like, yeah, okay, you're the man in charge, but he's terrible. This ref is... Right, can we get to it, Ben? Go on, go to Glenn next. So Ben can rip him a new one.
That's the next subject, right? Because, I was at the game, and we can talk about the Diaz could have got sent off. I think he should have, but I think even the Fulham game, Glenn, we watched the game and we was moaning about the referee. In it time to stop moaning at the ref. I'm like, it's about scoring goals, and like. I don't know. Can we stop? Can we carry on? Can we? Is it today we made a complaint as well?
Mm-hmm.
Like, isn't it boring? Isn't it stop blaming the ref? Or are we right? People in the chat, are we right to complain to the referee? What's your thoughts, Glenn?
We are right, and you're right. We shouldn't need to because the best league in the world should have the best referees in the world, and it doesn't. I think the situation we've come across here is that both Anthony Taylor and Rob Jones has put us in a position over the last two games where decisions are made inconsistently for a team that's inconsistent, and it looks to us like things aren't really going our way at key positions. Igor Jesus wins three key free kicks against City, when he was treated exactly the same against the Fulham defenders and midfielders. And it's not a level playing field in that respect. He was being pulled around, held. You know, the referees will then put their arms behind their back, and as if Jesus is also holding on. It's the inconsistencies of these decisions. The two key ones, Steve, you're absolutely right about the booking that wasn't a second yellow card, and Wayne Rooney. I'm not going to talk about because I disagree with his.
I agree with him. I agree with Rooney. Sorry, I've got to. I said it to Malcolm the other day. I agree with Rooney on this, even if he is an ex-Derby mind.
Morgan was playing for a foul to get. Okay, I disagree with Rooney. I think he might have been locking in, whether he put his leg around or not. Okay, I'll leave that one. The yellow card that wasn't the second yellow. And other inconsistencies. And I will also say, to Rob Jones's credit, that in the first half, the commentators or everybody watching was saying very clearly that Igor Jesus has got Rob Jones in his pocket in terms of every foul that we get in that key position, they're going to give, because he's given that first one. He can't not give any more. And they're all exactly the same. Diaz was doing it several times in that first and second half. And then he started playing in a different way. He started to try and play for these fouls himself, kicking balls away, yes, but he was also falling to the ground as if faking an injury, and that's not necessarily what we want, the referees to start picking out. The significant things, particularly about Anthony Taylor, Dora was absolutely right, and I've not been on for weeks, so I'm going to start having this opportunity to say this. I agree that Daesh has had to be very, very straight with this and say, when we disagree with these decisions, he's waving his arms around so much at the moment. When we disagree with these decisions, it's such a difficult job. It is impossible. I do it at under 12 to under 17 level, under 18 level, through my secondary school, and it's really, really difficult to do and be absolutely on it, consistent. But I don't earn 120 grand a year doing this job as a professional role. And you've also got the PGMOL that we're now appealing to. I'm not quite sure what we're going to get back as a result of us wanting to get the audio from the conversations that were had between them and VAR. It will never be shown amongst us, and I'm sure they'll have something amongst the club that they'll want to get exactly about. For me, it's a really inconsistent situation, and it has to be better. I think that the one thing for us, and I agree with Daesh in this respect, and he did say this when he spoke to Colin Frey. If it was the other way around, lots of these decisions, and I'm not suggesting that we're not one of the top, and there's these, bias to the top six, but at the moment there seems to be more and more of that, where if it was the other way around, it would go against others, including us. And we're not getting the rubber green. We're not getting the fair crack of the whip in terms of decisions being made, and it's starting to affect performances. And if we hadn't have got that second goal against us, who knows whether it would have been a 2-1 win for City or not. But it would have been definitely put us in a situation where with 10 men, perhaps there may have been a different situation, and who knows what would have happened. I think the Fulham, weirdly, standing next to you and my daughter and Dave, the Fulham decisions were more inconsistent and more problematic. Yeah. But I think we were not in that game as much as we were against City. I think that the decisions that were made against us on Saturday were more impactful in terms of the decisions and the outcome of the game. I take your point as well, Steve. Had we played like that against Fulham, who knows what would have happened? But Fulham come out in a different way than City. They don't let us play as much, and they sit much deeper and make it more difficult for us to break through. So, yeah. I hope tomorrow night is a more straightforward situation where the keeper has a better game, has fewer impacts in terms of Big John was great, but that wasn't helpful. And the referee is a hidden. And the better referees in the world, you know this, both of us and everybody else watching, are games when you never notice them there. They never appear, and they just do their job, and you don't notice them, and they're not. It's all about you, and all that sort of stuff doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Let's hope tonight, that situation. Let's hope tomorrow night is a game that we don't notice them.
Question, and there's more people on the chat as well. Do you think, Steve, we miss Sangare? And that's me. I can't believe I'm saying that. Do you think we miss him in that role?
I think we're basing it off the Spurs game, aren't we? It's because he had such a storm out against Spurs. I think if he hadn't, we wouldn't have been having this conversation. And this is what I was saying at the time. It's like, James McAtee's done nothing now, right? But if he had scored a hat-trick against Spurs, we'd all be saying, put him in. But on the basis of it, going from what Sangare did against Spurs, for me, at the moment, you've got to be saying yes, because especially, Fulham, I touched on it the last one, I won't go over that again about the Fulham, but the Man City game, it goes back to saying about the midfield battle, is how rattled that Nico player was. If Sangare was there, breaking up the play and getting stuck in, he would have rattled him even more with his big dangly legs and trying to intercept passes, and because they were playing through the lines, which they always do really well as a team, don't they? But coming back to quickly about the ref, though, is the ref was really bad against Spurs, if you remember. But the scoreline masks the referee's performance, doesn't it? Because we're quick to push that under the carpet then, even though he's really bad. And he's bad for both teams, really. But again, when the ref tries to make up on himself, and that's what Rob Jones does. And on Saturday, I mean, who kicked the ball away? Was it Diaz or was it Gabriel? I'm not sure which centre-half kicked it away.
Was it Diaz?
I think it's Diaz.
Diaz, yeah.
Now, that's a yellow. That's another yellow. If it was him, because I did drop it on the group. There was a game I was watching on Match of the Day. I think it was Garner for Everton. He kicked the ball away against Burnley, and he had a yellow card. And Ben, this is what Glenn's touching about. The consistency is there, and this is why we complain, because it stands out now. These refs bottle it. I don't care what anyone says. They bottle against these teams because you've got Pep and all these managers breathing down their neck, staring them. Fergie used to do it at United way back when. With the Fergie time and all that.
Fergie was the best.
Fergie was the best. And these managers got auras around them, and these refs bottle it. And like Glenn said, if you switch that around, if that was Murillo or Milenkovic put into Rose Head after they've just clattered Haaland on the halfway line, it's a yellow card. And that's the harsh reality of it. We just want consistency across the board. And if he's not doing his job right, he should be in the Championship next week. That's the way they should value it that way. It's not consistent. This football's got to be consistent in that regard. If he kicked the ball away, it's another yellow. If he goes, he goes. End of, play with 10 men. And then you could go down to 9 because they were very lucky. O'Reilly was all over Hutchison. It was a ridiculous performance. But yes, Ben, we are missing Sangare. Before I ranted about the ref. But yeah, I think we are missing a bit of a punch in midfield at the moment. I think, yeah, it's just going off last Spurs performance. Yeah, well, most definitely we're missing him. Hopefully, Ivory Coast will be knocked out soon, but no luck now. They'll get to the final and he won't be back until February. But,
the way that they're replacing Sangare, the way that they're covering the gaps missed by him, Dominguez and a little bit more of Anderson doing that double role between the pair of them, puts Dominguez in a situation where he's not as strong, I don't think, as since he came back from his injury, although he's a phenomenal player in that role. But Anderson almost seems not to do what he normally does because he's covering that role as well. He's not quite covering the wing backs in the same way, and he's doing a lot of stuff, pairing up, doubling up with the wingers against the Nico and Savona, and it puts us in a situation where he's pulled out a little bit more from that, maybe.
You know, it's cliche to say. We say it every time he's not around, but was that a kind of Ryan Yates kind of game as well on Saturday that he could have rattled them even more?
I think we miss him.
Because when you rattle a team like that, and they were rattled, you just want to rattle them more. And if he'd come off the bench, it could have been like for like with him and Sangare. They are the moments maybe we miss them players where they just rattle players and get stuck in, and that's what we got to do. And We said every time, Ben, do we? Are we missing Ryan Yates and them scenarios?
It's all the time. That's the thing. I've just polled people, and I said, do we miss Sangare? Yes or no? People in the chat, do we miss Sangare or do we miss Ryan Yates? Because, and you can't I thought Dominguez was fantastic in that role as well, because he just kept running and running and running, and that's what I think we missed.
He went unnoticed, didn't he, Ben?
Yeah,
he went under the radar, but he was doing his job.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, it's in hindsight, and like Sangare was fantastic at Spurs, and we missed him against Fulham, missed him against Man City. We don't know. No one knows. People, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you know. Just a little touch on the Man City game, Glenn. Like, any players, like, I know everyone's talking about Anderson. He's not reaching his heights for the last 3 or 4 games. Do you think the pressure on him, like, he's been linked with everyone? I think I spoke to Stephen about this on the last podcast. Do you think all his pressure is getting to him now because people's calling him the Jordan Henderson 2.0? What's your thoughts on it?
I haven't heard Jordan Henderson 2.0.
Oh, other podcasters, because you know what it's like.
Maybe I've missed the podcast. Apologies, though. I try and watch everything you do.
Hello, Dylan.
Anderson, it wouldn't surprise me if it is a little bit of that, tied with a splash of fatigue, a little drop of a knock that he might be carrying. He's had a lot of football. Now, I know John Robertson and everybody's been talking about how many games in a row that he's been playing, 60-odd games in a season for 3 seasons or whatever. But Elliot Anderson's played a lot of football so far this season. He's not played 18 matches for Forest and a couple of cup games. He's played a lot of England stuff. He's not really had, along with Williams as well, he's not really had an international break yet. And since he's come back into the England fold, he wants to obviously continue to play and get on that plane to America in the summer. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's a little bit of a combination of those things. Or you were saying about his head might have been turned a little bit recently as well. And all power to him, because obviously he's a fantastic player, and we want the best out of him while we're here, while he's here. But it equally wouldn't surprise me if there's an element of a knock which doesn't quite give him that spark that we've seen perhaps in Europe as well. You know, what I see and what I try and do when I'm watching us play is I did this a lot when Sangare was starting, and we were looking to see where that glimpse was. I'm watching Anderson play on and off the ball, and at the moment he's still the player off the ball that he has been right through, the last season and a half, 2 seasons, in terms of demanding the ball, getting into those spaces, being the orchestrator of everything and waving his arms and being the quarterback almost, if you like, in terms of the coach on the field, and giving those conversations and bollockings as well at the same time. But no, it wouldn't surprise me if he needs a bit of a break. It wouldn't surprise me if in the Wrexham game he doesn't start and he has a little bit of a time off there. But I know that if I was in his position, where you want to try and get in the England team, you want to try and play as much football as possible and maintain those outstanding performances in terms of the number of progressive passes and the tackles that he's got in terms of Premier League leading stats. It really has to be something that you want to play as many games as you can and play as many minutes in those games. And it's going to take its toll on a young person's body, like it is. So again, I hope it's not an injury that he's carrying. It wouldn't surprise me if it's a little bit of fatigue in terms of the number of games. But equally, like you were saying, Dore, the conversations in the background with his team, it might be that he's also trying to set himself up for another deal, perhaps with us or elsewhere. But like I said, I want to try and get the best out of him while he's here with us, and he's a phenomenal player in that position.
Before we do talk about tomorrow's game, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. I know I've just got a few text messages saying people can't comment for some reason, so I'm trying to sort it out now. Let's just end the Man City conversation as well. And Who was your man of the match, Steve, from that game? I think it was like I said, it was a better performance from Fulham. I thought everyone dug in, but who was your man of the match, Steve, from that game?
I touched on him earlier. It's Milenkovic for me. Yeah, I thought between him and Murillo, mind, but I led it over Milenkovic because I thought Murillo's passing wasn't great. I thought he'd get a couple of loose passes, and against City, that's a dangerous game to play, giving the ball away high up. For me, Milenkovic. There was a couple of other standouts as well. I thought Jesus was outstanding up top. You know, like we touched on, he's rattled them, he got stuck into them. Yeah, I think Milenkovic for me, Ben. I thought Hutchinson looked sharp. I thought he could have had a go at Riley a bit more. So I feel, do you get it? We should have the same with Alanga. Do you always feel when, you know, how many times was a left back booked, and we always felt like run at them, try and get that second yellow. We can't seem quite to get that. I thought Hutchinson could have run at O'Reilly a bit more. I thought, yeah, most there because like I said earlier, Riley thought it was rugby half time, not football. But no, Milenkovic, and I thought Milenkovic summed up his game where Haaland was through, and he just shoulder barred him, and he hit it out for a corner, but usually Haaland sticks them on their backside. He's through on goal, and it'll be, well, we know what happens then. He scores, but I thought that summed up his performance. And there's one time, it was almost going back to Ange ball, which we thought it would be, where Milenkovic was up top and he was making overlap running to him. And he was like this. Yeah.
Milenkovic kicked. All of the Trent like, what's he doing? Get back!
Yeah. that could have been a call by Dyche, mind, because Dyche could have just said, right, big man up, lump it up to him, win the second balls, knock-ons, you know, knockdowns and stuff. So for me, Milenkovic. Can I just give a shout out as well to Big John? I mean, Big John gets a lot of knocks.
No, that's the next question, and that's for Glenn.
Okay.
People in the chat, would you start Big John against Everton? Yes or no? People in the chat, would you? Yes or no? Would you stay Big John against Everton?
Right. I think I'd give him Everton because that's a kind. If he, we'll get to our predictions later about how that game's going to go. But if he can get a clean sheet out of that and his confidence grows again, then, well, it's his place to lose then. I mean, who would have said this about a month ago? Exactly. So, but me, personally, he hasn't done nothing wrong. So,
yeah, Glenn, would you start him against Everton?
Yeah, I'm very much of the opinion that you if it's not broken, don't fix it in terms of those positions, and he hasn't done anything wrong. You're right. He hasn't done anything wrong. I think both of the goals City scored, the penalty against Fulham, which are really the two key games that he's been involved with. Obviously, the Spurs game, I could have played in goal and would have still won 3-0.
You're pushing it now.
Yeah, I'm the same height as Callum Hudson-Odoi. I think I've been okay. 5'9.5". No, I totally agree with you, Steve. I agree with the decision for your man of the match. I think Anderson was fantastic, Kate. I agree. Set pieces were not as good as possible.
Just say it.
They were dreadful.
It's Kate. Put it back again. Put it back up again. Kate's just said it exactly.
Yeah,
couldn't agree more. His set pieces were not great. However, Milenkovic nearly scored a goal for us for the first time this season, and had it not been a lucky ricochet off a thigh that had gone out for a corner, he'd have had his first goal and we'd have probably won the game. Yes, in terms of Big John, in the middle of the goal, I stick with him. There's obviously a reason why Sells is back in contention to be on the bench as a replacement, but he may well not still be as fit as he was when he was at his prime last season. So, and until Big John has an issue, and I wouldn't necessarily drop him because of a bad performance to bring Sells in, but I'd want to change. And quite often we bring in a change of goalkeepers at cup games, so that might be the situation where we have a Wrexham switch in, and that might be the way to come back in for Sells. But no, Big John for me stays in the net, and I hope he has a clean sheet again tomorrow.
Sorry, Ben. I've got to say quick on Kate's point. The set pieces are dread. I go on record to say we are the worst team in the league for free kicks. We are dreadful. Do you know what? I go as far as saying, can we just get Ward-Prowse back just to take free kicks? I'll take it back just to take the free kick in corners because we are awful. We can't even beat the first man. We are just dreadful.
You know what frustrates me with set pieces? We've never been a tall team, and we have got a tall squad now.
Yeah, I know. We've got some monsters in the team, but
you know,
I know
Savona's about Savona's like 6'4", and he's staying back. That's where I don't understand why people like Savona gets in the box. Like Williams is about 5'8".
Nico should stay back, and then Savona goes up.
Yeah.
Well, when Ola comes back, he'll do that role again, won't he? Ola's usually that guy that stays back.
Honestly, we are dreadful of free kicks. We have been awful. I was getting so frustrated. They were terrible. They were. Anyone who took them.
The people watching won't obviously be party to the conversations we have, whether we're at the ground, Steve, or not, about how bad some of their set pieces were. Do you remember the Phil Foden corner that went out for a throw in?
Yeah, that was bad.
It's a bit like ours. Do you remember why they did that? They did that to see where we go on a long, deep corner. They scored from a long, deep corner that was headed and flicked back in. They did it for a reason, and it was all exploratory to find out exactly what we would do and how we would set up against the corner that goes beyond the back of the 6-yard box, and they then flicked it back in for him to score from. We're not doing that. We're just not even hitting the first man, or it goes.
No, we're not.
Out, right? And we were going, they're as bad as us. They did it for a reason, just to see what we do, and they then scored from the following one.
Because they know there's weaknesses there.
Pep was the first person he went to speak to, obviously off their bench, was their set piece guy as well. Yeah, we need some work in that, both defending them and scoring from them. Awful.
Next question, people, please get involved in the chat as well. And I know some people they're struggling to comment. I don't know what's happened. I've looked through it. I don't know why people can't comment. So if you can,
it wasn't working for me. I've reset the YouTube app, and it's now working again. I can also which I couldn't do before.
Okay. If you claim some people are struggling to comment. I don't know why. So if you can, I do apologise. I haven't been trying to fix it from my end, and it seems all right, to be fair. But if you can, please get involved if you can. Right, we've got a massive game tomorrow against Everton, people. And we spoke about Big John, who would swap Big John ourselves. Steve, we had Douglas Luiz on the bench. Backward came on for last, few minutes. Tyrell Ronnie, I don't know, and that. People in the chat as well. What players would you bring in for tomorrow's game? Because it's a quick match. Like I said, we've got. The thing is, we still got a good bench. We have got a good bench. Mm-hmm. Would you swap anyone for this game? People in the chat, get involved as well.
I can't. Me personally, I wouldn't swap. I'm trying to think. Maybe the only argument you could have is maybe Luiz for maybe like a Dominguez. But it's funny, I had an Everton supporter message me earlier and saying, if you don't beat us tomorrow, I'd be very surprised, because apparently they were really, really poor against Burnley and they're missing so many players, key players. We don't know about Grealish. Will he be in the squad? And what he's saying is they got no pace in the side at the moment. So that being said, we got plenty of pace on our side. So is there an argument to be said where I won't go as far as saying I don't think Backward's going to start. So who do you start over? You've got to start with Hudson-Odoi and Hutchison. But is it a game where we could bring like a Backward on earlier? Because he didn't bring him on till what, 80th minute?
Yeah, I think
the subs were a bit off for me again. That's up for debate. I mean, bring fresh legs on. Like you said, Ben, we've got a decent bench now. Bring them on. These players got to have game time. I know there's been links to some of our players who are on the bench.
Yeah, we'll do that later on as well. Yeah.
For me, the only tweak I'd probably make is maybe put a Luiz in for Dominguez. I can't see.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree on you, mate. I think Dominguez is just a non-stop runner. I think we need it.
I know, but if I was to say one position, probably that's the only one I would tweak.
Yeah.
But I probably wouldn't tweak it because they play so well. I mean, every player stood up and kept their position. I would think. I can't think of any. You wouldn't drop Jesus because he's going to rough up their centre halves, Keane and Taraskovsky, whatever his name is, the one who kicks everyone. I love it if he gets sent off tomorrow. I'd love it. We owe him one. For that cheap shot he done on Enjoy, right? We owe him one tomorrow. But yeah, I keep it the same, Ben. Keep it the same. And Big John in goals. Yeah.
What about you, Glenn?
If we play the same starting 11 that played against City, it would be 4 players different to the team that played against Everton 4 weeks ago. Sells played in goal. Morato played instead of Murillo. Sangare played, and Dore started on the.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So we've got arguably a more informed left-sided midfielder, a more informed keeper, and Dore. So Hutchinson, Milinkovic, Savona, Jesus, Sangare. I agree with you, Dore. Actually, between the two, Luis and Dominguez. Dominguez starts for me, and Murillo starts ahead of Morato. So I think that's already a stronger starting 11 to the 11 that started at Everton. And there were 2 players who've subsequently gone down with injury. One that's not as strong as another centre half, and a player who's no longer playing for us in terms of Sangare. So better, stronger 11, more consistent 11 that's played more regularly other than the Fulham game, better than that Everton side. So I'd start with that same 11. Yeah.
And I'm going by what Glenn just said. We are stronger then than they are because they've weakened from that side they had against us weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to throw a curveball on this. I'll start Bakwa over Callum Hudson-Odoi. I don't know why.
Do you know what? I was contemplating that, but again, would you put Backward in? I think would you reserve him for maybe that European game coming up? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But listen, I love Hudson-Odoi. I love him, but I think when we win, when he's playing fantastic, when he's on form. And don't get me wrong, I think he was good. He was all right against Man City, but I don't know. Might give backward chance.
Hudson-Odoi's in and out at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We play well when he's on form. I think it's like we talk about Morgan Gibbs-White, fantastic player. We're missing that little bit spark from him. I know he had that. We had that patch of scoring goals against Liverpool, Leeds, and someone else, and. I don't know. I'm just missing that little.
This is what I said, Ben. After the Fulham game, I feel when one of our star players seems to be off, we seem to struggle. We don't seem like if Gibbs White's had an off game, it seems to have an effect. Then ripple through the side. If Anderson's off, like against Fulham, Anderson was well off, and the old teams start to get. But when these other teams like Man City, Haaland did nothing. The back four were poor. They still got them key bits of stardust in their team, like a Foden and Jerky to step up and win them the match. And I feel at the moment we need all our players on top form to win a game at the moment, and that's my worry. We can't seem to win against Wolves. We won ugly away, but they're really poor. If we didn't win that, I'd be a bit disappointed. But yeah, I agree with you, Ben. It just feels we need all these players on top form to really, like we did against Spurs, to rip teams apart. And on Saturday, we were all on top form. We gave them a good game. And tomorrow night, we need to be at that level. And our intensity's got to go up and just rip them a new one.
100%. People, please do hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. And shout out to my sponsors again, to Alan Hodge Far and Wide. If you want to know more about them, the link is in the description. Right. The discussion has been in our WhatsApp group as well about the strikers. And about Chris Ward. He's injured. Colin Mendo, he's been linked away to Frankfurt. Is it Frankfurt as well?
Frankfurt, yeah.
People talking about Taylor one day, he's not good enough. Jesus, I think he's been fantastic for us. I think he just needs that Premier League, that another Premier League goal. Glenn, what's your thoughts on it? And people in the chat as well. What's your thoughts? Like, do you think Colin Mendo? Do you think he should go? Yes or no? Taiwan there as well. Let's get Taiwan in that thoughts. People in the chat, get involved, man. I like it's just a discussion that we always talk about in our group. Glenn, what's your thoughts on everything, man?
It's interesting. I've seen the comments about this, but I've not mentioned this in the group. I think it's basically because he's a 23-year-old lad who we brought in to try and solve a problem in terms of giving us that little bit more strength. And it's almost an added... I can't think of the right word. Sorry, I've been at work. Like an added little bit of spark, that an option that perhaps we can't afford to have at this stage. And perhaps if we do want to bring another player in, and the decision to bring Callum Wendo in was obviously based on his performances in France. Interestingly, I've been doing a little bit of research about him. Frankfurt were looking to buy him back in January 2024 and offered to buy him before he came to us. So no doubt if he does go to Eintracht Frankfurt, it's a long-standing conversation that they're having with his people. So if he does go and Taiwo goes, it'll obviously give us an option to, and I know your question is, are we going to bring another player in? If it's 2 out and 1 in, I think that's not a bad bit of business, actually. If it's 1 out, that's Taiwo, who 17.5 million 3 seasons ago and has done an enormous amount for us in terms of giving us those goals against Arsenal that first season and all that massive impact that he's had. Liverpool, for example, against them in that first season, and everything else that he's done. And Callum Wendo, who, bless him, is been playing well in Europe, but hasn't really been able to play for us in the Premier League. He's got a couple of goals and has shown even though a young player, his talent in a really top league. It may well be a situation where going to Germany would be the best thing for him, and also give us an option to. I can't remember how much it was. Option to give him a loan or an obligation to buy, and then with the benefit of both players leaving, bring in another player that's going to strengthen and uncover for Jesus or Wood, or Jesus if Wood is out. So yeah, Callum Wendo for me is. I can see it's talks are ongoing. If it is a move for him, that would be a real benefit for us and him. Although a 23-year-old player who's come into the Premier League, I always think maybe we should give him a bit more time, give him a bit more opportunity to develop. But are we in a situation, Dore, where we have that luxury? That's the word I was trying to think of. Yeah. Have the luxury of being able to develop a player in that respect, or are we in a situation now where we're looking to offload players who are no longer in the plans or the immediate plans of the manager and the team, and are looking to then bring another player in who might be a little bit more proven Premier League, who might be out of sorts in another club that our management team might be able to get the most out of, or give us another backup in the league and in Europe behind Jesus, who I think I couldn't agree more. Hutchinson and Jesus scoring goals in the last 3 games is going to be massive for their confidence, and the more they play, the more they're going to benefit from that. I think Callum Wendo might be too far away from a starting position to be anywhere near in conversation, so it might be best for him to look elsewhere, for us to give that scope for someone else to come in purely.
Another question as well. Like, everyone talks about Taiwo, and you just mentioned it, Glenn. He was fantastic for the first season in the Premier League, and again we have this argument with. What strikers is there in the Premier League that will come to Forest? That's the problem, because we're not going to spend another 30-40 million on a striker because we've got this PSR as well. And this is you for Steve, and people in the chat as well. What strikers are in the Premier League? Because we know Forest might look far and wide, but is there a striker that we can get? I know there's Larson at Wolves, but I don't think we'll get him. Anyone that can come in and take AG's place, basically, and get the goals. People in the chat as well, because that's what I'm getting frustrated with. Like, we could talk about this player, but is there anyone, Steve, that you think that can help Forest?
Really good question, Ben, because I've seen your topic, I've been going through the teams today, and I've been thinking, like you just said, what player could we potentially get from another club. Now, even Wolves are not going to sell their striker to us because they'll want big money for him anyway. Even though he's kind of flopped lately, he's going to go for 30, 40 million plus.
Wasn't he Newcastle about Newcastle, right?
Yes,
yeah,
it was like
60 odd million, yeah.
Million.
Yeah. So you go through the teams, right? And even look at their benches, players who can't get in their side. Would you take any of them? I mean, you look at West Ham, they've got nothing up top, really. They one of their main strikers can't even get in the starting lineup. In Wilson, and he's the wrong side of 30.
And the other one's gone to Ace Man as well. Is it from
the German boy?
Yeah, he's gone to Ace Man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been thinking all day, Ben. I've been thinking of the teams. I mean, who else we got?
I've been thinking all day who like
you hadn't really got. I mean, is there any? Again, I've brought this up many times in these videos. Is that again? Do you take a punt on a youngster from a club? But then you're going back to that. Oh, there's a lot of pressure then on a young striker. But then, are there any strikers? I mentioned in like the wrong side of 30. Is there a Callum Wilson out there who? But then you're going down the Chris Wood route then. So for me, you've got to get that 24, 25, 26 player at the peak, at the height of their career who can offer something else, who can get in behind, who can get us the goals, because you can't pile on Jesus. He's not going to get us more than 10 goals. He's not. He's a great player, but he's not going to score 10 plus goals. Who knows about Chris Wood when he's coming back? So Taiwo, he's going to go. Yeah, so we need to.
Always get unfair treatment. Like I said,
but Ben, he's offering nothing. No, look, the sentimental stuff. There's a lot of sentimental stuff from Taiwo. Yeah, there's a lot of sentimental stuff from Taiwo. We all love him. He's done great for us, but unfortunately, when he comes on, he just doesn't give you confidence he's going to get a goal for us. He just doesn't offer confidence to us. Well, especially to me, anyway.
If he scores tomorrow, I'm coming for your neck.
Yeah, tip this, Ben. Tip it. You can tip it.
I hope he just score. I hope he just scored, because I think it was. Shout out to Gary Shaw. I had a bet with him. I hope Taiwo scores before the end of the year, and he needs to score tomorrow. I'm praying to God he's going to score tomorrow. But yeah,
would you? All right, okay. There's one player, and he's been kind of linked in with. Who's he been linked with before? Right, the guy for Newcastle, who's Alanga's mate. Osler, is it?
No, not him. We don't want him. No, we don't want him. No. He's not.
Wouldn't that be funny though if we were to that? Because Alanga went there purely because of him. But
he's again, probably still got apps in Nottingham he could do with someone taking it off his hands.
Yeah. Alanga give him the keys. No, I'm just touching the straws now, Ben. I honestly can't think of. I mean, I've seen some people mention Xerxes from Man United on loan. No.
Well,
he's a dreadful footballer.
He's not a direct player though. He's not, because Daesh wants someone who can hold the ball. This is why I don't like. Again,
but there's a player. Go on, Ben.
This is why I say about Taiwo. I think he's a direct player because the way, like you just said, when he comes on, he's not feeling like he's going to score a goal for it, but he can hold the ball, bring other players in, like Gibbs White, Hudson Doyle, Hutchinson. But it's not happening. Like Igor Jesus, he's doing it. He's doing exactly the same thing what he meant to do. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know who. Glenn, what about you, Glenn? Is it people in the chat as well? Please.
I can't think of any striker in the Prem anyway. There's been talk of is a guy from Roma, is it? Begins with D, Jabrocka, something his name is. I think he plays for Roma. There's a lot of Forest fans on about him, but I don't know nothing about
the only thing I do know is English tax is going to be huge. The transfer window before a World Cup squad is selected, and this time of the season you're going to get but you need a striker, don't you? Look where you are in the league. You might be in Europe. You might have all these things. You might have all this money, but plus a subsidy on top because where you are in the league. It's always going to be those situations. I can't think of anyone that's going to be an ideal replacement, and that's why I'm not in the recruitment team, Nottingham Forest. And if I could think of anybody, I'm sure they've already considered it and perhaps rejected it or are looking into it. I'll ask John Percy, see what he says.
Well, I mentioned I mentioned, this is for the people watching as well. I mentioned this on the group tonight, guys. Is that if you had known how Calvert-Lewin the run he's on now, if you knew this in the summer, would you have taken him on a free?
Yeah,
because a lot of teams turn. And thing is, now they the kind of like if he keeps Leeds up, he's got to be the signer of the season.
Yes,
because the run he's on, if he keeps Leeds up, he's got to be one of the best free signers anyway, without doubt. Because the run he's on, he's scored in like 7 games in a row now. We would kill for that. I mean, that's the kind of striker we need.
Yeah. Would you take Tony? Would anyone take Tony?
He comes with baggage, or Tony. You just don't know, like from one scandal to the next. He does score goals, I know, but you just don't know. Yeah, but of course you would. You wouldn't turn him down, but
you'd be going against all of what they've tried to build in terms of the player network and the group that they've got. Having that prima donna is not the right word, but you know what I mean. That sort of player isn't really what we would need, and I don't think we're in a situation. You can clip this as well. I don't think we're going to go down. I don't think the situation is that dire where we're going to need to have worryingly troublesome potential goal scoring talent in amongst the team. I pick someone else. Give me someone else. Not me.
People in the chat, like I said again, if there's anyone that you think that Forest can get, please do. Because I was thinking today of, like I said, Lawson, Tony as well. And there's no one like in the Premier League. I think there's none. But I don't know. There may be one. You never know. Again, people, like I said, we've got another 7 minutes. Again, we've got players like McAtee. He's been linked away as well. He's not been getting much game time. Who else is Jacques Cunha? He's been linked away. Glenn, what players do you think needs to leave Forest, man? Because, like I said, who was it? McAtee's not playing. We can talk about Douglas Luiz. He's not getting much game time. People in the chat as well. What players would you want needs to leave Forest? Glenn, so we'll start with you.
Needs a strong word in this question, Dore. I don't think anyone needs to leave. I think if we want to invest in the next sort of 3 weeks in terms of developing the squad, then there has to be some changes. Cunha would be a loss to our defending group, I think, but he's got a real talent. McAtee, I think over all of the divisions in terms of Angus Gunn staying as third string keeper, I think Cunha as a defender, I think Taiwo or Callum Wendo or both, and I think midfield wise, I would rather see McAtee go and play elsewhere than anyone else in that division, in that group, particularly Anderson and Gibbs White, etc., etc. So yeah, I think McAtee for 22 million when he came in, he would be an ideal fit for. I've seen Chelsea, Leeds, and Porto are looking into him today.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Chelsea look to be the stronger of the three. It's interesting. Is there a player at Chelsea that we can arrange a switch with? If not, I think McAtee, if he's got his heart set on playing for a club who are in the Champions League like Chelsea and also looking to strengthen his options for moving forward, then that would be an ideal fit for him. I think he's a phenomenal player, and I was made up when he came in, but he just doesn't seem to have that role designated particular position around the players that we've got in that position. So yeah, I think the only player I would put in the need is for him and him only in terms of developing his skills elsewhere. No way, Jono.
Look again. Right. Sit. Right, people in the chat. This is the next one. This is the next one, right? Would anyone take Brennan Johnson back? Yes or no? People in the chat, would you take Brennan Johnson? No. And before people answer it, Lefty. No, it's not a Crystal Palace top. That is, it's Aussie top. So Lefty.
Football Victoria.
No, it's not a Crystal Palace top. It hasn't got a Conference League, Europa League badge in it.
So no, my friend Justin from Australia gave me the top before the Man City game. So yeah, Victoria. So yeah, Lefty. It's not a Palace top, but shout out to Lefty. Quick, right? So people in the chat, I asked these two: would you take Brennan Johnson back? Yes or no? Glenn.
I would. I don't know whether he would come, but I would look to. Yeah, I'd look to take him back.
Steve?
Yeah, I said in the last video tonight, Ben, I asked that really difficult question, which Glenn, don't know if you got wind of it. Would you have Johnson or Elanga down the right side of your team now? But I would take Johnson back, yeah.
I would, but I don't think he won't come back to Forest.
Down the right-hand side?
Yeah, so Glenn, my question was in the last video, would you have Elanga when he was at his best, or Johnson when at his best on the right-hand side now?
I can't look past the Man United goal that Elanga scored. But equally, the volley against Leeds 2 seasons ago by Jono. Elanga.
It's a good question, isn't it?
Elanga. No, actually, Elanga. It's so close. The fact that Brennan would give us that extra added edge in terms of a player in Europe, I would take Brennan Johnson.
I would.
Because of the Forest. There must be a link in terms of the homegrown player, right?
Yeah. You know what is, Glenn? I said this on another podcast. I think we missed the pace. That's what we missed the pace, and that's what we're lacking. I think
we missed our pace to carry us up the pitch. That's the thing. And Jesus carries us up the pitch now. We play in a different kind of way now. Jesus carries us up the pitch. But before, Johnson and Elanga carried us up 50, 60 yards up the pitch. But I think with the comparison between Johnson and Elanga, I feel even when Johnson's confidence is low, he keeps trying. I find Elanga goes missing when his confidence is low. But Johnson keeps plugging away, and he'll always get you a goal. I got more confidence in Johnson getting a goal than Elanga. So to answer your question, Ben, yes, I would take Johnson back.
I will, people, but I don't think he'll come back. So, we only wish. We've got Everton fan in here. Evening, Everton fan, 3-0. Don't think any goal scores in the squad, and we are strikers, not him scored. Even Bravo, Richie, we beat us 3-0 last time, and you got Jack Grealish. When he's on his day, he can.
Yeah, but he's out boozing now, isn't he? He's enjoying Christmas, New Year's, isn't he?
He's doing the boozing, Grealish. Glenn, you seen it, Glenn?
I haven't, no.
Oh, is it 4 o'clock in the morning? Was it the day before? No, because it was Christmas Eve. Out drinking and all that, and there was a massive online about this party. But for me, on the pitch, I would have come Forest. I would have, but
we had conversations about that.
Can I just say, Ben, about the transfers quick as well, though, and listening to what Glenn said about McAtee and so on. Do you feel as well, though? I know a lot of these players. The only one who's worked out is Hutchison and Jesus, obviously. Do you find that with the whole circus around Nuno, Ange, the players have come into this circus and they felt unsettled, and maybe that's why they've had 3 different managers now and 3 different systems. Well, I know Dyche plays slightly the same way as Nuno, but do you feel that hasn't helped either the development of these players in the squad? Because there's players there, there's talent there, but it just hasn't clicked. And I mean, Hutchinson's the only one that's really gripped it. So I think this transfer window, I think if we see McAtee, even Taiwo, Calomendo, if they go early on in the window, they obviously got targets in mind. They already know. And to have talked this early, even before January starts, they obviously got targets in mind. So Dyche has obviously got a squad he wants to take to the end of the season to take us forward. I know we've been linked with McNeil from Everton and so on, but I think that hasn't helped I think Backwell, they're still playing it Backwell. I think they feel he hasn't been be harsh. Yeah, they'd be harsh to get rid of him because he hasn't had a chance to show what he's got. I mean, Ben, we both agree. I think he had the best first touch ever in the Forest shirt.
He did
at Arsenal, yeah. I mean, there's a player there, but yeah, I think it's going to be interesting in January. I personally think we're going to let about 4 or 5 go, and I think we're going to give about maybe 2 or 3 in just to cover certain areas. We definitely need a striker, and we definitely need another fullback.
Go Glenn.
To answer that, I think it's absolutely inevitable that you have a change of management, a change of system, and a change of style, and then you come in wanting to play or being brought in to play a particular system by a particular manager, and they're 2 managers ago by the time you get your first shot.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting at the moment what Dyche is saying about having conversations about Hutchinson in particular. I believe has a lot of weight on his shoulders about the price tag. And he had this feeling that he needs to live up to this price tag. And Dyche has been, I've been hearing on the podcast that they do on BBC Radio Nottingham, is how he has changed his mindset, because that's what it costs to bring a player of his quality into a Premier League team. And it's not him as the value, it's him as what he does with the ball when he plays and how the impact it goes. So, he has to live up to all of this hype that goes around it. But Dyche has done a great job in turning that around and making him feel like for him to play in this club, that's how much it was. It's not about the money. It's about the development and what he offers to our team. And that's certainly what I've seen from the Leeds performance when he came on and lit it up and won that penalty, which was a decisive decision at that point. And his goal on Saturday, I'm made up for, and it must make him feel like he's walking another foot taller, because that's a great way to start a campaign with us after all of this upset. It's also, Dyche was talking about how he doesn't try to overcoach players. And a situation where you were saying, Steve, where you've got players coming in and playing for different managers, he tries to make them play in a particular way, but also leaves them to just explore and get on and not massively overwhelm them with things and make it very simple. It's almost Clough-like, your job, you head it, you kick it, you pass it out to always give it to Johnny, and give it to Rono. And it's almost like that, where they're not trying to overburden players. Whether that was the situation that Ange was giving all of these massive team talks and huge amounts of video stuff, and it certainly seems to be a lot more straightforward the way they're playing at the moment. I think they all know their role a lot better now. And I agree. I think a few players out and 1 or 2 in, and who knows? We hope that this is going to be a blip in the terms of the season, and we're going to push on and stay away from the bottom 3.
And I honestly think that they signed McAtee to replace Gibbs-White. It hasn't worked out. I think so.
People, we're going to end the show. People if you're watching this, please get your score predictions as well for tomorrow's massive game. I'll start with me. I feel we'll win, because I think Richie's saying Nadal, Gagnon, KDH, and Grealish are out. So I think Grealish is a fantastic player as well. I'm going for 2-1 Forest. 2-1 Forest, I think. And I think who do I say? Right, Steve, you need to listen to what I say, right? No cheating. No cheating.
Get it down. In writing, Ben.
What was the score prediction? I said 2-1.
I think
you said 2-1 and then score.
2-1 and to score. Steve, listen to right. No cheating. Because people, if you don't know, we've got a WhatsApp group and we do score predictions. I'm in the bottom 3, bottom 4, and I don't believe what Steve.
I'm in the bottom 4 because I didn't predict against Man City, and I'm glad I didn't, because it wouldn't have made a difference.
So people, I'm saying 2-1 to Forest. What was yours, Steve?
2-0 Forest, Gibbs-White to score.
And Glenn, what was yours?
I hope he keeps his clean sheet, but I said 3-1 with Hutchinson score first.
I'll take that, man. I think we just want to win to end 2025.
Can I just drop something in though? The comments, Everton fan there saying that, and the Everton fan messed me earlier. Do you find sometimes when fans do that, though, they try and put you off your game because they try and build this up, then say you're going to win this easy, boys? Could we got no? But sometimes that doesn't always work out like that.
Doesn't work at all.
Because some of them players, them fringe players, want to get that spot and they'll work harder now to try and keep that. It doesn't always. No,
Richie,
I don't always fall for that.
Bless him. I'm not listening to a word he's saying.
Right. What's he saying?
It shouldn't come into the psyche of a fan. They're going to come out and they're going to try and replicate that 2-0 win. They're going to do their absolute utmost to try and rock us. He's saying no, Forest will win 3-0, but
Richie, we're not playing.
Bless you, Richie. Bless you. I think it's going to be a much closer game than that.
100%.
I think they're going to come for a draw.
let's keep it real, because since we got promoted to the Premier League, we've not beaten Everton. So
Yeah. We are, Ben.
I'll take you out.
All right. That's the City Ground.
Game, Wolves the next team to win at the City Ground for the first time in the Premier League.
Yeah, and plus, I don't want to say it. We've got Rob Jones as a ref tomorrow. Is it? No, not Rob Jones. Who is it? Who's
Michael Oliver.
Michael Oliver tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I think I've seen his record against Forest: 5 wins, 4 wins, 5 defeats, 1 draw. I think it is. So, yeah. Just pray. Right, it's been a fantastic show. Thank you very much to Glenn as well. Thank you very much to Steve as well. And thank you for the chat, for involving this chat. If there's anything that you agree or disagree in the show, please do in the comment section. I will get back to you as well. Glenn, you're there tomorrow as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Where you sat tomorrow? I'm
sat near Des, lower Brian Clough on the corner of Trent End. Looking forward to it very much.
Yeah, you know what? If Cam Mendes starts and he scores, just run up to Des, yeah.
Well, if Hutchinson scores, he celebrated in that corner on Saturday rather than running towards the Peter Taylor corner where the family is. And I want to see the backflip for the first time. I'm disappointed he didn't score with a backflip on Saturday. So yeah, I'll definitely send you a video.
Send me a video. Right, listen, people. I think this is going to be the last podcast for this year. Go on, Glenn. I've asked you in the last podcast, what's been your best game and worst game of 2025? So,
best game of 2025, I think, has to be the Spurs 3-0 win a couple of weeks ago. I think was a real highlight.
Yeah.
I can't think past that in terms of best team performance. The Liverpool wins, obviously, they're right up there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Winning at United, partly because I was there and it was just phenomenal. I wasn't at the Anfield games when we won.
That was 24. That was 24, wasn't it?
That was 2024.
That was 24.
Spurs win 3-0. I think the worst is probably. Oh no. Okay. The Brighton 7-0 win was just unreal.
Yes.
But the performance against Spurs a couple of weeks ago, the worst game, probably Leicester last season.
I said exactly the same.
In terms of the impact that it had.
Yes.
Taiwo's injury, that was there were lots of pivotal points.
The whole thing with the owner and Nuno.
That was the point where the wheel fell off, and we were three wheels chugging to the service station. In that respect, it was horrible.
Spurs
at home and Leicester at home.
The other game that was mentioned, Glenn, was the West Ham at home. Nuno's last game. That was pretty bad. That was rancid.
That was a bad game. That was a very last 10 minutes.
Based on the performance, I think the performance and the impact that the loss had was. I think the Leicester game tips that, though. Unfortunately, Steve. But I'd say that as well.
Leicester
the West Ham 3-0 defeat earlier in the season was. Yeah, that was horrible. Particularly after how well we'd started against Brentford, right? And we didn't see those sorts of coming so soon. Yeah.
Right, people. Like I said, it's been a great show. Thank you, like I said, Glenn, Steve, and shout out to Dylan as well. He's always there in the background. But shout out to Dylan if you can hear me. Right, people. Like I said, I'll be there. Glenn will be there tomorrow as well. I'll be in my usual vlog, after game reaction, and like I said, people. I hope everyone has a fantastic day tomorrow. Hopefully, Forest win. And I hope everyone has a fun end of 2025, because like I said, it's been a great year for me. I think following Forest up and down the country, and especially following Forest in Europe, because I've got my ticket for Prague today. So thank you, Gary Marriott, for sorting that one out, because I can't wait for that. Right, people, thank you very much. Like I said, make sure everyone see Alan and Hollis far and wide. If you want to see more about them, the link is in the description. Can Forest win tomorrow? We need to beat Everton for revenge, and hopefully we do. Peace and love, people of the Forest.
Happy New Year.